the idea is that we can design our environment to influence our behavior and to create positive feedback loops in our life that correspond either to healthy habits or to just a positive mindset in general. Cultivating positive environment is more powerful than cultivating willpower. Whether you look at texts from Yogi Paramahansa Yogananda or James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, you get this overwhelming sense that environment is the secret key that unlocks your ability to make positive changes in your life and to unstick yourself if you do find yourself to be stuck. So, environment can manifest in a lot of different ways. Environment can be two main things, is literally your home and your physical environments that you find yourself in from day to day, whether that's your work or transit routes or where you exercise, anything like that, to your physical home space. And there's plenty of books that have been written about it too that I really enjoy, other than Atomic Habits, Magic of Tidying Up, I think I got that right, Marie Kondo's book, and Zero Waste Home. Those two books can both be kind of extreme. Most people aren't going to get rid of all of their stuff, but applying those principles to your life can be very valuable for essentially making your space, both your physical space, your workspace, your head space, clean, calm, zen, so to speak. It doesn't always have to be this like minimalist kind of thing. That it can be, you just have the things that are functional. Oh, geez. It can just be, you have what you need to do what makes you happy, to do what is of service to others. I'm just going to run through a simple way of simplifying your environment for health and wealth. First off, the practice of Feng Shui has been around for thousands of years. It literally translates to Feng, meaning wind, and Shui, meaning water. So it's wind and water. So it's these flowing movements of energy that are essentially traveling through us and traveling through the spaces that we find ourselves in. Now, they are essential to human needs. Air and water, like what else really do you need more than that? So next, the idea of home hygiene has roots in many cultures around the world other than Feng Shui, which is traditionally Japanese. In Ayurveda, there's what's called Vastu. Vastu just is essentially the equivalent of Feng Shui in Ayurveda. There are different systems of elements, different ways of designing the homes, but essentially it's the science of creating your space for health and wealth. There's step one, which is to envision. Your goal right now is to just imagine that state that you want to be in, that place that you want to be in, where you are fully immersed in your experience of being in a clean, joyful environment. And if there's any other like qualities or characteristics that you want, make sure to write them down. Make sure not only to draw them or to create visuals of them, but also to feel what it feels like to be in that space. And to write down elevated emotions, like whether that's gratitude or empowerment or deep sense of safety and nourishment. Just feel what you want to feel in that space. And visualization alone is, I mean, it can be kind of useful, but like visualization combined with action and with elevated emotions and with a direct process of doing something actually has a lot of benefit. So step two is clean. So it's the fine art of deciding what actually matters. This is essentially the process of reducing your life to the essentials. And in the process of figuring out what things you may consider the non-daily essentials, going and either putting those in storage or keeping those few things that are really valuable to you in a space that you're going to appreciate and enjoy them. And this step is by far the most emotionally challenging for a lot of people, because it's hard to like change your environment because it's comfortable, and you have to really just want it. If you can let go of something, you're trusting that you're going to receive 10 times as much of that thing or of that enjoyment that that thing gave you. And that's without saying that that thing that you're letting go of is something that you don't need. And it's just that process of cultivating decisiveness within yourself. And it can be really powerful for making business decisions or for making just decisions about anything in general, is like that process of, do I keep this or do I let go of this? For most of us living in the Western world, because we have so much stuff, it can be a really powerful practice. It can be something to do while you're watching a movie. It can be something to do instead of watching a movie. It can just be, a thing that is a part of your life in the same way that exercise or making dinner is. Okay, that's cleaning. So now I have a fun little acronym for you. HICCUP. Okay, so just remember HICCUP. So home. Every item has a home. So you put things in their homes daily. You say clean up your spaces before leaving them or before going to bed. So that's H is home. I, intention. Use your space with intention and make it yours. Ideally, have one use for each space. So have your dining table be for eating. If you can, like have a desk set up where you work instead of working at your dining table or on the couch. In the same way that you have, a space set up for exercise. But if you don't have that luxury, then that's fine. Just create little nooks or spaces where you generally only do that task at that time in that place. So that's intention. The 2 C's in HICCUP, clean and clear. Make your surfaces, counters clean and clear so that everything is put away, that everything that you need is where it needs to be. Just there's less clutter. Okay, so that's clean and clear. So we got home, intention, clean and clear, HICC, and then UP, unfold into your space. This is the idea of being a flower that is blooming in your space. You're doing this whole process so that you can actually do the work that you want to do or enjoy the space. And that's the whole purpose of this. If you're just doing this as like a militaristic exercise, there is something more than just being militaristic about this process of cleaning and, getting rid of, things. And yeah, that there is actually like a benefit to it. Next, finally, the P in HICCUP. So we have H, home, I, intention, C, clean, C, clear, U, unfold, and finally P is just plants. Plants are great. Whether you're eating plants or whether you're putting plants in your space, it never seems to be that when you're out in nature and there's a bunch of plants that the plants are just cluttered. You can have a lot of plants in your space, and even like the most Zen person can just have tons of plants and it's not like cluttered. So plants just add a lot of benefit, energy, vibrance to a space. Yeah, fresh air. Make sure to fill your space with plants because plants are awesome. There are certain plants that clean the air. So snake plants, palm plants are really good air filters. So if you're living in an apartment or just where the air is not that good, having plants can just be kind of like having an air filter. That is step 2, which is clean. Step 3, building. Building just means acting on that step 1 of envisioning. You've had your vision. You've cleared away any of the unnecessary, and now it's time to build. What do you want to create in your space? What do you want to feel in your space? How are you going to build that? And I would say that for the most part, it doesn't mean going to IKEA and buying the neat little, cupboard thing that is like all the rage. Or figuring out how you want to make your space yours. That's the process of building. It can be very, very simple.
Where are you going to put your yoga mat when you exercise? It's what kind of experience do you want to have when you're eating dinner? Do you want to have candles? Do you want to have soft music playing in your workspace? How are you going to track your tasks? Let's say you have a list of 10 habits that you do every day, and you just check all of those habits, and you just have that posted next to your computer somewhere. Or you have your running shoes out next to your bedroom door. It's just as much about decorating, so to speak, as it is about facilitating positive behaviors and positive emotions. Okay, one more thing on building. Back to the idea of Feng Shui and Vastu is creating your space around the elements, is allowing your space to be a representation of your unique nature and constitution, making your space homey. And we're living in like a very high-tech world, so like having more of those low-tech items can be really helpful, but like it shouldn't be this thing where you just get caught up in buying all these things. It should just be like this natural process of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go get a plant because like I love plants. So like let the things that you have serve you, but don't get caught up in getting things, so to speak. That is building. Look at the link in the description and you will see high vibration spiritual toys. That sounds weird, but yeah, blindfold mask so that you can meditate in broad daylight, or like an oil diffuser and salt lamp and all kinds of fun things. This brings me to step 4. And step 4, which is the last step, is celebrate. So when you feel like you've gone through this process of optimizing your environment, creating this happy space, whether it's at home or at work, use it, enjoy it, celebrate it. That's what it's for. It's just as much about celebrating your external space as it is about celebrating your internal space in this process that you've gone through. So invite your friends over for a dinner party, or like dance naked in your house in the dark. Do whatever you want to do because it's your space, it's your process, and you can now enjoy the ride. Well, you can always enjoy the ride. This process, it can be an ongoing process, and at the same time, go through it, do it once, and then experience this sense of completion. Experience this feeling of, I have done the thing, and I feel good about it. And I feel good about where I am, creating this space where I can do what I need to do, and my environment is serving my highest goods. Thanks for hanging with me. I look forward to seeing you in future videos where we go over more about environmental design and creating our best lives through our habits and our environment. Peace out.